All right, so we're going to get more aggressive. Now we're going to show you the 32. 32 is the half-court trap. So this is our offensive basket. So yet again, evens on the right-hand side, offensive right, odds on the left-hand side, except for the one. The one is in the center. So we're going to have the one like right here above. We're going that way offensively. We're going to have the 2 right here, 3 right here. You'll notice we're kind of close to the center. We don't want to be way out here. And then almost directly behind him, at least to start, we got the 4 and the 5. So let's talk about the responsibilities of the 1. So we've got, everybody knows this is 32 now, I'll erase that. So a typical offensive format, and this is important too because we're going to do this offensively, is obviously the ball is inbounded. Typically though, let's pass that. We're going to let the ball come in. So this guy is typically dribbling the ball up one side or the other, and the guy that inbounded the ball will end up on the other side. If they're smart, they'll have someone in the center. It could either be way up here or down here. So for right now, let's just do it right there. They typically want to have them like right here. They'll have somebody here and somebody here. So kind of a 2-1-2 format. So the job of the 1 is this is a good situation already because we don't want the ball to come down the center of the floor. That's the killer. What kills this zone again is the center, really the center of the floor. So what we're trying to do, it's important to understand what exactly we're trying to do. We're trying to get, first of all, this guy or this guy down the sideline. The closer to the sideline, the better. Oftentimes, they'll try to pass the ball back and forth, and that's okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's say for now they don't, and this guy just dribbles down. Technique is hugely important. The 1 is going to shade him. He's going to let him go for a while. He's going to shade him, shade him, shade him, and try to get him over here. Obviously, the purpose on the front line is the 1 cannot get beat in the middle. He cannot let him drive it down the middle. He wants to get him in a spot where the 3 is following the ball. So if you're on the same side, you're coming over. So the 3, he's kind of lurking right here. You want to be even with the ball. So if the ball's over here, the 3, you need to come over. If the ball's toward the center, we'll talk about that in a minute. But the goal is to get them to cross the line here if we can. That's the first way we win, is we crosses the line right here. And the 3 is here, the 1 is here. We're going to try to trap right there. This guy right here might come back. We'll talk about that in a minute. Huge, huge big deal. We cannot let the ball come through the center here. We cannot let the ball come down the sideline. You want to put 1 foot out of bounds right here. So if he picks his dribble up there, we're going to get a steal there. That's the first option. Now, leaving this here, as this guy is coming, the 2, when the ball's over here, he's got the short middle. So he's going to communicate with the 4, which we'll get to in a minute once again, but the 2 is going to come over here all the way at least to the rim line. He's going to look for this lob pass or some weak pass to the center or a lob pass over. Right, same thing's true if the ball does get passed over here. Ball's coming down this way. The 1 is going to react. The 2 is going to be even with the ball, just waiting there. The 3, when the ball's over here, the 3 is going to be in the center right here. Again, trying to get them shade, 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 and get him right here in the corner with the trap, with the 2 and the 1 right there. Now, a couple little notes on this. Sometimes, as I said before, they'll try to pass the ball back and forth. So you got this guy. They'll do this a lot. You got this guy and this guy, right? You got your 1 here. You got your 3 waiting here. And they'll try to start in your 2 right here. If the ball's over here, the 2 is right here. Back and forth, back and forth. So if you can anticipate the ball goes over here and it gets dribbled up, and then this guy comes up and the ball comes back here, a lot of times these are weak lob passes, so you could pick that pass right off. Same here. If the ball comes over, you can pick that pass right off. So this is an aggressive defense, guys. You got to get after it. And the idea is to force a lob pass. So again, we have the traps in each corner. We have lob pass back and forth, be aggressive, anticipate. Because if we don't get this, we're just going to bust back into the 31, which we'll talk about here in a second. Okay, so those are the front man's responsibilities. So what happens a lot of times, let's say the ball's on this side. You got your 3 right here. Your 1's trying to shade them. You got this guy. Maybe he's come over to help a little bit, like right here. You got your 2 right here in the center, but anticipating a lob. Okay, let's talk about the 4 and the 5, because as this ball moves this way and this way, if it's on your side and you're on the back line, so you're the 5, you have this baseline pass, whether it's here, whether he's down here, you cannot allow the baseline pass. So whether you want to stay here and anticipate it, I don't care, but bottom line is we cannot let. First way we're going to get a steal is trapping here. Dribbles it off his foot, our ball. Next way we're going to get a steal is this weak little pass down the sideline, which happens every day and 17 times on Sunday. So we're going to steal it right here. The 4, when the ball's over here, the 4 is going to take the center. Again, usually they'll have a guy right here. The guy's up here, go up and get him. We don't care about the home run pass. So let's say this guy's back here. I feel like at this age level, we can react if this guy tries to throw a lob pass. This guy's on a dead sprint. Worst case scenario, we got a rushed layup there. So even if he wants to come down there, I'll let it happen. The 5 has the baseline. The 4 has the center. You cannot let him catch this pass in the center. Okay? So we teach it where we got a hand in the passing lane right there. Like a hand right there. The ball's over on the other side. It's the same darn thing. Guy's got the ball here, let's say. The 1's here. The 2's waiting for him. The 3 is right here. This guy's probably coming over to try to help. We got the 5. Usually there's a guy right there. You're going to have a hand in the passing lane there. And then the 4 is not allowing this pass here. And then there's usually a guy, a lot of times he doesn't even think to come down here. He's like over here somewhere. But if he does, that's okay. We'll allow, that's when the ball is here, we will allow this pass. So we're going to practice and practice and practice and practice this, where the failure points. Where do we fail? Well, with the back line, we fail if we allow a pass down the sideline or if we allow a pass into the center. On the front line, we fail if the ball gets dribbled through here or dribbled down the sideline. Got to get a foot out of bounds. If any of those things happen, it's bust. And we all sprint back into 31. So, again, repeating. Ball gets dribbled down the sideline here. Ball gets dribbled down the center, past the 10-second line. Ball gets dribbled through this gap. Ball gets passed into the center, or ball gets passed down the baseline. It is bust. So it's key to have leadership on the floor. Any of those things happen, there's really 5 things that could happen. You yell bust, and as soon as you yell bust, it's just a dead sprint from where you were back here into 31. So the idea of this is we could take a chance, try to get a trap, try to force a weak pass down the sideline or a weak pass into the center, or dribbling off their foot. But if they do get that, which let's hope they don't, but if they do, we sprint back. We're already in the same positions. Notice with 32, same format as 31. We're just moving it down the floor. So the idea of these defenses are to have, we're going to talk about the 34. So you have 3 defenses, a 31 half court, a 32 half court trap, and a 34 full court, where we can run any of the 3, not forget where our man is, be able to take chances, and if the rules are broken and we fail, then we're back into the 31 base defense. So it's key to learn how to play the 31 great so that we can always rely on that base defense if all else fails.